Hey, what's going on everybody? Jay's 2 cents here, and today we are going to take a look at how to install Cooler Master's brand new Nepton 240M in your system. It's a pretty easy all-in-one kit to install, so we're going to go ahead and show you just how quick and painless it can be. So let's get started. Now, in order to do the job right, you're gonna need a few essentials. Now, first things first, the most important tool is gonna be a Phillips screwdriver. Now, I happen to use a multi-tool here, which has multiple screwdriver bits and multiple ends on each side. I find that this tends to be the one tool I need to get the job done. Now, you're also gonna need some isopropyl alcohol. This is a 91%, anything greater than 70% will do. This is for cleaning off the old thermal paste. If you're doing a brand new installation, then chances are you won't need this, but it never hurts. Now, to go with that, you're gonna need some sort of a lint-free cloth. I happen to be using a lint-free terry cloth right here, and as you can see, it's cleaned up a few water cooling spills over the ages I've had it. And then kind of optional here, we've got some air duster, PC, electronics cleaning spray, because you wanna make sure while you're in there, everything's nice and clean. So with that out of the way, these are the tools we're gonna be using, so let's get started. Now, the very first thing you're gonna need, of course, is your PC tower. And in this case, we are using the Cooler Master Cosmos SE. Now, the first thing we're gonna wanna do is prep our system. We're gonna get some things out of the way here so that we don't have to work in a crammed space. So in this system here, I would remove the graphics card and the RAM, and if you have a stock cooler on there or maybe a heatsink tower, you're gonna want to remove that as well. Now that we've got our nice valuable components out of the way where they're not going to get damaged, you want to go ahead and prep the CPU. Now, if you have a brand new CPU installation, you could go ahead and skip this step. However, it will not hurt to go ahead and perform this. If you've taken off a heatsink tower or another cooler, then this step is vital because you want to get all of that old thermal compound and thermal paste off of the CPU. So take your lint-free rag or terry cloth, give it just a little dampening here with the isopropyl alcohol, and go to town until all of that thermal compound is off of the CPU. Now that we've got the CPU nice and clean, you want to go ahead and take the back panel off of your case so that you can expose the back of the motherboard tray. Most cases today will have a cutout here for the back of the motherboard. You want to make sure that this is actually present before moving on to the next step. If not, you may have to remove your motherboard in order to perform this task. Now that the CPU is nice and clean and ready for the new cooler, we're going to go ahead and make sure that any fans that are currently installed in the location where the cooler is going to go is removed from the system prior to installation. Okay, so we've got the top fan out of the case. We're not going to be needing that. You can just go ahead and set that aside. So now our Cosmos SE is pretty much ready to accept the brand new Nepton 240M.